Hey, D-Trade. Okay, so you're done with your graph. Tell me what you did. What were your steps?
I looked at Mr. Sayers shoot basketball and I collected data
You collected data. What did you collect it on?
on paper.
Okay, can you show me that paper?
Oh, this paper.
Okay, so you collected it on this paper, and then once you had it on that paper, what did you have to do?
I had to make tally marks to see how many he made and he didn't make.
Okay. Now, once we were done with all of our shots, you took this information and did what with it?
Made a graph.
You made a graph. Okay, tell me the parts of your graph. What do you have going on here?
I just copied off of this and knew numbers, how many elbows, and how many free throws, and three
Pointers.
3 pointers.
3 pointers. Okay, tell me what's going on up here. Whoop, right there.
This for basketball.
Okay, so you titled yours "Score Basketball." Okay, so tell me the reason you chose that as your title.
Because I was scoring basketball.
That is an excellent reason. Okay, thank you for talking to me. Howard, hold on. Tell me what you're doing right now.
Graphing the thing that Mr. Sanders did.
Okay, now when I look at your graph, what's happening down here? What does that L mean?
Layup.
Okay, why is it important to label your columns?
Because if you don't know what it calls, if you don't know what it is, they're gonna think like what it is.
Yeah, they would have no clue what you were talking about. So across the bottom, you're going to write what each one stood for. So how many layups did he make?
7.
He made 7. So you filled up your graph all the way to the number
7.
Excellent. What's your next column?
Elbow shots.
Elbow shots. How many of those did he make?
2.
He made 2. Okay. What are you going to put in your next column?
Free throw.
Okay, so you put an F for free throws. Excellent. And then your last one?
TH.
What is TH?
3 shots.
3 pointers.
Yeah,
Excellent. So that's why it's important to label our graphs so that we're not confused about which is which, huh? All right. You may get back to work.
Teaching that I like to do is we only have one person talking at a time, so no one else talk, okay? Except for the person I'm calling on. Now, if you have something extra you want to add to it, then you can raise your hand and I'll pick you. But if you're making noises and you're moving around, then I'm not going to call you because that makes me sad. You know what makes me happy? When you answer questions really well and when you raise your hand, you're quiet. Okay? That's what makes me happy. All right, guys? And I want to find out what you guys have been studying, okay? So I'm going to go and CJ.
We have been studying data.
Data. Who can tell me when you use data? Go for it.
Well, we use data if Mr. Sand asked us what type of teacher which one you want for field day, you can use data and make a graph to prove that color that's the most votes.
Okay, so you make a graph. That's an interesting topic. Who can tell me a little bit about a graph? D-Trey, is that how you say it?
Yes.
D-Trey, can you tell me about what a graph is?
It's about collecting data to make it, and you gotta justify why you make a graph.
Good word. I like the word justify. And Howard, can you tell me why you use a graph? What decisions can you make from your graph? And if you want to use specifically what you guys worked on Friday, you can. Tell me about Friday's graph.
Mr. Sands did lay up the most because he good at it.
Okay, so he took a bunch of different shots on the basketball court, the different places you guys labeled your graph by the shots, right? And so you're saying that by your graph, you can tell that he's pretty good at layups. Okay. Why is it important that we have a graph so we can make decisions like that? Brian?
Because if we was going on a field trip and so the lunch lady would need to know what kind of milk you want for cause like we can't leave our group by ourselves to go get a drink of water. So we would have to pack something, some water or milk for the field trip.
And you gotta get a good idea of how many milks or waters it take, and a graph might be a good way to tell that. Okay, now let's move straight to what we worked on Friday, okay? Who can tell me how many shots were made all together?
18.
18. And how many different shots were there? What's that? How many different shots? Were there 4 or 5?
5 and 2.
4?
2.
4 different shots? And they were layup?
Elbow shot. Free throw. And free throws. 3 points.
Savannah, can you tell me how many 3-pointers Mr. Sands made?
5.
5. Can you show me on your graph? That's a good job. That's a good job. Okay. If you were Mr. Sands' coach, based on this graph, Jatavius, if you were his coach, based on this graph, what would you have Mr. Sands work on to get better?
Your elbow shot.
Why is that?
Because he only got 2.
Okay. How many times did he shoot it?
2 times.
How many times did he shoot altogether? He made it 2 times, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so he missed 8 shots, right? Okay. So that would be something that he would need to work on. Elsie, can you tell me what's something that he's really good at? What's something that you'd have him do during the game?
Layups.
Oh, layups. Because he made the most of the layups.
Yeah, he did 7.